Good morning, this is Joey with Salty Flag TV, and I just want to make this last video about the 2013 F150 5.0 Coyote engine that we were having the low oil pressure warning light coming on at idle. And posted a couple other videos. I just posted two more videos like we talked about that shows the mechanical oil gauge reading. And that really told me that I did not have a oil pump issue. I had plenty of oil pressure there. And then I also put on a video of the scan tool. And the scan tool video is after the throttle body cleaning, and we were doing the idle relearn with the AC on and the brake applied. And what you'll notice there is that the RPM stay consistently about 525, somewhere in that range. It'll go up to 625 when it's not in gear. And I can tell you, I didn't post this one, but before, when I tested it before, there would be a dip quite often down in the mid 400s before I did the throttle body cleaning. And I think that dip would cause combined with the full synthetic oil, and I'll talk about that in a second, was creating this opportunity for low oil pressure warning to take place. So if you go back and watch the other video, you'll see that, I started out, I changed it to a full synthetic oil 520. I think that was part of the problem. I changed out the sensor because before I realized anything about the oil, the sensor did have oil in it. Whether it had completely failed or not, I don't know, but it did have oil in it. Changed it to an aftermarket sensor. Still had the problem. Come back and change the oil out based on a oil engineer's feedback about oil viscosity. I had some Mobil 1 5W30, which the truck calls for 5W20. Put that in there, it still had the problem. So I said, okay, I'm going to check it with a mechanical gauge. That's the video that you'll see if you click on that. The mechanical gauge, the oil pressure was good. So I was like, okay, when I took that sensor out, the brand new one I put in, I looked in there and it already had oil in it. So I think it was already failing. So I did change it with a Motorcraft oil sending unit. Put it in. I still had engine low oil pressure at idle. So from there, I've watched some other feedback videos about it, and they talked about idle being low, and that truck did have a low idle. It would dip down, so I got the scan tool. There's another video there you can look at the scan tool. That's during the idle relearn. After we took the throttle body off, we cleaned all the carbon out of it, put it back on. You basically kill the electrical system in your vehicle, make it relearn. There's a whole process. You can look that up, and what you'll see is a very consistent 525 RPMs at idle with the AC running wide open, and didn't really see a lot of big dips. I think the lowest dip on there was like 505 or something like that. Before, it would dip down in the 400s. And I think the combination of a lighter viscosity, full synthetic, a sending unit that was going bad, and low idle all created this opportunity where this low oil pressure would come on only at idle when you're sitting at a red light or something. So we did all that, and I can tell you that has been probably a month ago that we completed all of that. Once we completed the idle relearn, we have not had another low oil pressure light on. New oil sending unit. It's still got the same Mobil 1 5W30 full synthetic in it. Now I will tell you that whenever we change the oil again, we're going to go back to Motorcraft semi-synthetic, and it calls for 5W20. We live in Florida. We're going to put 5W30, and according to my oil engineer friend, there is nothing wrong with that. The difference in that viscosity is minute, and it will give better protection to that engine in this hotter environment. If the vehicle goes up North Dakota, you probably want to put the 520 back in there, because you're just not going to have the type of heat that we have down here. So still got this full synthetic in it. The viscosity is 30 weight versus the 20 weight that comes in it. Oil Motorcraft sending unit, and then we've cleaned the throttle body, and we've had no more low oil pressure lights coming on. So I hope all these videos have helped you. I've answered several questions that those of you that have sent me questions have asked, and have tried to help. There's a lot of these problems going on out there, and I think people are going to the dealership and maybe being told they need an engine, maybe being told that they need a oil pump. It's very easy to, if you have a four-wheel drive, it's a little harder because you got to take the alternator off to get to the sending unit, and you got to come up in the front of the engine and do that. It's a little bit labor intensive, but not too bad. So two-wheel drive, you can get to that sending unit typically without having to remove anything, crawl up underneath the vehicle and do that. Take that sending unit out and buy a $30 oil pressure sending unit or gauge from Harbor Freight or any other, parts store. You can get one. You can probably rent them at some parts stores, and screw that thing in there and check it. If you've got super low oil pressure at idle and it's not picking up too good, you might have an oil pump issue. But if not, you might want to check. You might want to go through the processes that I've described in these videos. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. I don't do this to get paid or anything like that. As I find things out that go wrong, I just try to post things that might help somebody else. So appreciate everyone tuning in. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to send them to me. And by the way, if you see the flag back here on the top of the wall here, the way Salty Flag came out is I make those flags, and I've given away more than I've sold. So, but if you're interested in one of those flags, I can make those and have them shipped to you if you'd like that. Again, appreciate everyone looking. Until next time, thanks for watching Salty Flag TV.